Justin found the mean and standard deviation of the set of numbers given above. If he multiplies each number by 2, which of the following will result? Will the mean be increased by 2? Now they give you 5 numbers. So one way of doing it is just finding the average, and then for the first one, and then multiply each number by 2. So the next number will be 26, then 22, then 14, then 14, then 24. Find the average for the first one, find the average for the second one, and see the difference. Now, another way of doing it is to remember that if you multiply by 2, then your mean should multiply by 2. So it's not A. Your standard deviation, if you multiply, your standard deviation will also change, will also be multiplied. So your answer is not B. Your answer will be letter C. Now remember, if you are just adding, if these are your points, and you are adding, then all your points will be just moved. So if you have a number line, if you just plotting them, and then if you add, let's say 10 or 2 or 5, then your numbers get shifted, and your standard deviation, if it was a given amount before, whenever you shift them, you'll be the same. Your standard deviation will be the same. So let's assume that this is your average, your mean, and that's your standard deviation. If you add, your points will just be shifted. It will not be spread out any more than what it is before. Then your answer will be B. But whenever you multiply, your data expands. It gets multiplied, it expands. So therefore your standard deviation will also be expanded. Remember, if it's adding, your mean will always be changed, whether you add or multiply. Your standard deviation, if you add, it will not change. But if you multiply the numbers, it will change. So add stays the same. If you multiply, you multiply. So you have to memorize this, or just calculate the mean for each one, calculate the standard deviation for each one, and then compare. Either way will be fine.